Restart playlist to try again. What is happening? I am ICJ, also known as Justin Woodward, co-founder of BVIG, Black Voice in Gaming, and The Mix. It is my honor and pleasure to chop it up with y'all and introduce the Black Voice in Gaming Showcase Summer Game Fest Edition. If you have seen the show before, you already know that our mission is to amplify Black voices at the intersection of gaming and culture. If you have not seen the show before, all you need to know is you are about to enjoy some of the coolest art, music, stories, and of course, video games being made by devs from indie to AAA. Black Voice in Gaming is an Experience Studios nonprofit organization that exists because as Black creatives continue to be underrepresented in the video game industry, it is essential to cultivate these creatives so that they can contribute their fresh perspectives, which are the lifeblood of innovation in the art form. BVIG programs open the door for developers to attend conferences such as GDC and DICE, get funding through the Experience program, and help provide a platform for their exceptional contributions to the video games that we all love. We can't say it enough, but thanks to all of our sponsors who have supported us over the years and make these events possible. PlayStation, Humble Bundle, and Raw Fury, who have all given their support from the start, The Mix, Razer, and Summer Game Fest. Thanks to our broadcast partners for the showcase, again, Summer Game Fest, Twitch, IGN, GameSpot, and Steam. They help extend the reach of this show in ways that would otherwise be impossible. We owe them a debt of gratitude as well, so thank you all. If you would like to join them in supporting BVIG, please follow this QR code on screen and make a donation. Experience is the nonprofit that operates the BVIG programs, and everything helps. All proceeds go to the efforts I described briefly, and more information is on the website. Today's showcase has a prime blend of games, developer interviews, music, and hype. So let's get it started as I pass off the mic to our hosts, Derek and Destiny, who are gonna get things popping.
Thanks, Justin. My name is Derek Fields, and let's just say I do a handful of things, but game development is at the center of it all. Kicking it with my favorite people and checking out exciting games are the only things that I care about. So doing it in a way that helps to boost the voices of creators that look like me, let alone for Summer Games Fest, is one heck of a way to celebrate these achievements. Now, speaking of favorite people, I'm joined by one of the coolest co-hosts that I know. What's up, Des?
Hey! Have you ever met someone who's always got a project cooking? Hi, hello, that's me, Destiny. Whether I'm running Games for Games or I get to partner up with Black Voices in Gaming during the Summer Games Fest, I'm focused on building spaces that feel like home in the industry. But before we kick off our first interview, our beautiful, beautiful, beautiful spotlights with these incredible developers, I want to take a moment to show love to the community that's supported us from the start. You all are the reason we are here. Black Voices in Gaming has grown from a standout showcase to a powerful movement, a nonprofit creating real opportunities. From funding the membership to building lasting industry connections, they're doing the work to make us professionals in games. So we don't just get people to the door, we get them inside, we have them sit at the tables, and we help them succeed. We're starting off strong, and the guest lineup speaks for itself. So Derek, are you ready to get into it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, let's jump in.
Let's jump in.
Hello everyone, welcome to Ayasa Shadows of Silence, a journey into a world where mystery, horror and puzzles intertwine in an incredible way. Picture yourself exploring 6 distinct worlds, faith, hope, love, greed, indifference, and betrayal, each with its own wonders and challenges. In this game, you'll embark on a quest to restore balance to a troubled world. Inspired by the imaginative works of artists like Tim Burton, Robert Zemeckis, René Laloux, and many more, our game blends dark fantasy with simple elegance, transforming every level into a vibrant story waiting to be uncovered. Prepare for gameplay that's both challenging and rewarding. Utilize special abilities such as time management, invisibility, and energy control to solve intricate puzzles and outsmart lurking dangers. Discover hidden paths using a light and strategically navigate shadows to overcome obstacles in your path. Ayasa Shadows of Silence is more than just a game. It's an emotional adventure. As you explore, you'll uncover secrets, meet unforgettable characters, and think deeply about big ideas. Your choices will shape the story, revealing surprises and new journeys at every turn. In the world where every shadow hides a secret waiting to be uncovered and every light illuminates a new path forward, the fate of Ayasa rests in your hands, where each decision leads to new discoveries and adventures. Get ready for an unforgettable journey. Thank you for watching.
Hey everyone, my name is Mikhail and I'm one of the founders of Caldera Interactive. We're a 3-person team from Canada working on our first game, The Rabbit Hole, a cozy farming and tower defense game where you play as a cute bunny that must defeat the Trash Panda posse to rebuild your home. We've been hard at work on The Rabbit Hole for a little under 2 years. We're all new to the industry, so it's been a daunting journey. But over that time, we've had the chance to pitch our game in front of publishers and crowds, even winning the GDC pitch competition. We've also had the incredible opportunity to show off early builds of our game at Gamescom and ran multiple playtests with our community where we've received amazing feedback to help us improve our game at a rapid pace. Despite being so new to the industry, we've been so lucky to have had many mentors and communities in our corner along the way, and we strive to make sure to do the same, and to be the help we wish we had had as we got our game to where it is. On that note, a special shout out to Black Voices in Gaming for having us on this showcase to talk about our game. In The Rabbit Hole, you play as a rabbit named Sprout, whose hometown has been destroyed by the Trash Panda posse, a group of raccoons that's after your harvest. We were inspired by games such as Stardew Valley, Bloons, and Cult of the Lamb, which led us to create a cozy game that's approachable, but still gives the players the ability to go deep with it. So during the day, you spend your time tending to your farm, planting and harvesting crops, as well as planting defensive towers, exploring the surroundings for treasures, or buying new supplies. Players have access to a variety of plant towers that grow into powerful allies. Their final evolutions must be unlocked in town and purchased within each run to mount a top-tier defense against the Trash Panda posse. We created a symbiosis system that rewards players for creating a symbiotic garden where certain plants thrive when placed in proximity of each other. Once the player is ready, they can trigger the night phase where they must defend against waves of hungry raccoons using the planted towers and the equipment they've gathered during the day. Now let's skip ahead to see what a player's garden might look like further down the line. Once the player decides to leave or wins against all waves, they are returned to their hometown, where they can spend resources rebuilding, picking new quests, or buying permanent upgrades to empower their future runs. The Rabbit Hole features a lot of different weapons that can be discovered and used to fit the player's playstyle. The game also features a lot of ways to upgrade Sprout's abilities to match the challenges ahead. We're still hard at work and we'll be hosting a public playtest on our Discord server this summer. In the meantime, don't forget to wishlist The Rabbit Hole on Steam and join our Discord for more details on our upcoming playtest.
Hey there, I'm Fair, a solo game developer with over a decade of experience creating games that blend fun and chaos. I'm excited to introduce my latest project, Tossdown. I've been developing this game solo for the past year and a half, and I can't wait to share everything about it with you. So, I want you to imagine a world where meteors rain from the sky, missiles rip through the streets, and poach pirates run rampant, but you're still expected to deliver packages. That's the chaos of Tossdown, a high-energy action-packed delivery game where you play as a courier racing against the clock to complete deliveries while dodging a storm of absurd obstacles. Imagine Crazy Taxi crashing into Jet Set Radio with a unique twist of unpredictable environments and hazards that force you to adapt on the fly. The goal was to create a game that's both nostalgic and refreshingly modern. Let's take a look at the heart of Tossdown, the gameplay. As a courier, you have one goal: to make deliveries. But when everything and everyone is out to get you, you've got to get creative. Jump on cars for some extra height boost, but be careful, they can explode anytime. You can also scale buildings to escape the mayhem or just rely on your quick reflexes to stay alive. But here's the fun part: you're not entirely defenseless. There are more than 20 power-ups to pick up. You can freeze enemies in their tracks, blast them away with a shockwave, turbocharge your speed, or shield yourself from the madness. You can mix and match them for crazy combos that turn chaos into your weapon. Plus, there's specs to tweak your style. Do you want to run faster, tank more hits, blow up everything in your path? You got it. Tossdown will have more than 60 plus perks you can choose from. You're not just stuck in one spot either. You dash through various zones, from city streets to hostile suburban towns, each with their own vibe, hazards, and enemies. And to keep things fresh, you can pick from a roster of couriers, each with their own special abilities. Maybe you're into turbo speed or you love a good extended dash. Whatever your style is, there's most likely a character for you. You'll also be met with special delivery requests along your journey. They can be pretty intense. Think time-crunching runs where every second counts, or fragile package deliveries that test your dodging abilities to the max. And since the levels are procedurally generated, every run comes with a surprise. Fail to complete a run? That's not a problem. You always unlock upgrades that would help your future runs. It's all about getting better and understanding the chaos. Tossdown is my love letter to straight-to-the-point action games. Pure, unfiltered fun with no fluff. It's the game I've always wanted to play, and I hope you'll love it too. So, if this chaos sounds like your kind of thing, head over to Steam and wishlist Tossdown right now. And hey, if you want to tag along the ride, follow me on social media or hop into the Discord server to join the playtest and share your thoughts. Thank you all so much for watching.
Shout out to all of the devs who are flexing their games and showing what they've been cooking. Ayasa, Shadows of Silence, Rabbit Hall, and Tossdown are looking so hot this summer. Make sure to wishlist, follow, and support all the games on the showcase. It definitely helps them out. Up next, we are going to hop into the trailer from South of Midnight, which is a game that has been blowing up lately, and jump into the mix with Destiny and Derek for an interview with one of the developers at Compulsion Games. Stay locked.
There's a fine line between mercy and justice, ain't that right, Hazel Flood? You chose a hard road for yourself.
Please, it isn't safe! We got a long journey ahead. I'm always fast enough!
It's not safe out there, Hazel. If I was the one missing, she wouldn't stop looking.
Crouton?
What the? And this ain't even the weirdest thing I've seen today.
I'm seeing these things. You can see strands. And now you're looking for a creature. You're a weaver, aren't you?
Hello?
There's something big out there.
Take this and go find your mama.
I'll come back.
You better. I gotta know how this tale of Hazel ends. Hazel, no!
This ends now. Mama?
It's cool. It's cool. I love getting a chance to see that trailer over and over again. I can never get enough of it. I can never get enough of it. Des, what did you think?
Honestly, the first time I saw that trailer, I was super excited, but it reminded me of this movie that I saw a really long time ago called Beasts of the Southern Wild, which like features like this little girl and she's going on this journey, right? To like, and it's like a coming of age, like with her and her father. And it just kind of, I felt like, okay, the people who are making this game definitely saw that movie and definitely got inspiration from it. And it was beautiful. Like, I think it won like Academy Awards and things like that. So I love what you've done with the trailer and with the game, because it really does speak to a place that no game has ever really done well before.
Yeah. I'm really excited to be digging into the trailer, digging into some of these references that you mentioned, Des, which is why this is going to be a really good segue into our next into our exciting guest that we have for the showcase today. That is Zaire Lanier from Compulsion Games. Zaire, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited to talk to you guys.
Yeah. I pin that reference first before we dig into some of the details in talking about this exciting game, South of Midnight. Can you introduce yourself and give a little bit of clarity as to your role at Compulsion?
Yeah, I'm Zaire Lanier. I'm a game writer, narrative designer. I've been working in games since 2020, and I was one of the writers on South of Midnight. And I guess that's what I'm here to talk to you guys about today.
I wanted to know how you did your taxes, but since we're going to be talking about that, we'll just roll
really
with that.
Poorly, the IRS is probably like at my door too.
She's joking. Moving on.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
No, go ahead. It's all you.
Oh, okay. We promised we were going to do this back and forth. I don't know if it was my turn yet, but I'm catching the ball.
It's your turn now.
So, thank you. What I wanted to know is, like you said, you got into it in 2020, but I know from my own story, like the reason why I wanted to get into games was because I wanted to see more representation. Working on a project like this, where you're getting to write Black characters and talk about like history and some of our culture, like how did that make you feel?
It really means a lot to me. I've been playing games for a decent chunk of my life, but a lot of it was when I was younger, especially it was like Call of Duty or, goofy stuff with my cousins, which the games have narrative, but I don't consider them necessarily like narrative, like strongly narrative games. And, I've enjoyed all these characters. And then as I got older, I started playing like Mass Effect or The Last of Us, games that are really well known for their story. But I didn't, and even though I enjoyed those characters, I never really saw characters that looked like me all that often. So for me to be able to put that out into the world, so someone who, plays their first game at like 12 or 13 or something, or even younger, for them to see someone that looks like them or like their mom or their little sisters, like that means just so much to me. Just because it's not something that happens very often in games.
Right. As you were sharing that, you mentioned narrative, and you've also identified your role as a writer at Compulsion Games. For people who are considering entering the games industry or maybe navigating those opportunities now, can you help to create a distinction between what is writing for games and what is narrative design?
That's like that's a really big can of worms.
Yeah.
I feel like that varies from like studio to studio, and it just kind of depends.
What does it mean for compulsion? Would be a better question. Yeah.
So for compulsion, I think a writer does a lot more concepting of the story, the different zones that the game takes place in. I wrote like a ton of cutscenes, self-talk, readables, like that kind of stuff. And narrative design is kind of the narrative delivery systems that go into the game. So how do the readables connect with the overall story of the game? What does it mean for the in-universe mythos? What are we trying to convey to the player? Because that aspect of it is more interactive. You're watching a cutscene, it's a little bit more passive, but narrative design it's everything from environmental storytelling to if you play the game like Mahalia's Weaver symbols, like what do those mean? Working with art to make that symbol meaningful. So I think it's a little bit more not quite technical. I mean, I think it is technical, but it's it encapsulates more than just like writing pretty cutscenes and like nice sentences. It's how is this going to work together in tandem with like art, music, level design, and all that other stuff.
I love that. I think that's a great definition, just because I don't know if I would say the way you explained it in my head, narrative design is more world building, whereas like a writer, you're giving them the scenes to write and the world is already kind of being created, but there's still a bit of back and forth, right?
Yeah.
That's how I've always looked at it.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
No.
The line is definitely blurred. Like I do a little bit of narrative design. My friend Danny, who works on the game, she does some writing. We collab with each other. But I definitely, the narrative design, I think, is her specialty. And she's very good at that and presenting these ideas. Like I'll have an idea and she'll be like, all right, well, how do we present this to level design so that it makes sense? And I'll like look to her for her leadership on that. And we help each other on cutscene and stuff. So it's all a group effort. I think we all kind of bleed into each other's specialties a little bit. But I do think there is a distinction.
Did you guys meet on this project, or did you know Danny before then? And how is that working with like another friend? Because I know a lot of people, they make friends at their job, but like having somebody that you've known for a while and then kind of being able to work with them to create something so special.
Yeah, I have known Danny for a bit, a couple of years now at this point. We met on Twitter, which is how I've met
super
probably
random.
80%. But like,
like
80% of the people I know in games, I know through Twitter because I was in the Midwest and I wasn't in a gaming city. So that was pretty much the only way I had to get to know people. But I ran a Kickstarter and I asked her to, it was a horror anthology type thing with cryptids, and asked her if she would like to write one of the entries in it. And Danny also runs her own small studio. So I knew she knew her stuff. She's very professional. And I was like, hey, like we're hiring, if you would like to apply. And I mean, she got the job because she's very good at what she does. So it was really nice to have someone I know on the project with me, but also someone who is familiar with the culture we're working with. They have those Southern connections as well. And someone that I just like know we work pretty well together. It was very, I'm very proud of the work we did. And it meant a lot to be able to do that with her, because it's not something that I wanted to do by myself, like have that on my shoulders necessarily. It was nice to have someone to like share that with and bounce ideas off of.
I love that.
I was one of those cryptid backers, by the way. I remember that. You said that and I was like, that's where we probably connected online.
Yeah.
There's a when it comes to narrative and a lot of the aspects of the game, I've had an opportunity to consume a lot of the tangential information surrounding South of Midnight, and one of which was this very documentarian style coverage of how you and the team really immersed yourselves in the environment. And when I think about that, South of Midnight is deeply, mythology is deeply woven throughout the entire game. And of course, like going into another environment to immerse yourself in different aspects of mythology. How did you navigate that? What was important to you what did you discover along the way?
So one thing I really liked about working with Compulsion on this was they knew what they didn't know. And I think, and they were okay with that, and they wanted to get the right people to make it as authentic as they could. So the team did visits down to the South. They were in multiple states, multiple times, lots of different communities. For even down to like the sound design, they had people out in the swamps with parabolic microphones, capturing the sounds of insects, of birds, and they did it multiple times throughout the year. And so I think Compulsion, because they were so willing to lean into that authenticity, and, we had references, so, Beast of the Southern Wilds, Night of the Hunter, Eve's Bayou. I, read some stuff on my own, really getting into the nitty-gritty of the genre and seeing how that meshed with culturally what we're doing, being culturally sensitive to the people in the South, because you don't want it to come off as very stereotypical. These are living, breathing people with living, breathing histories, and we wanted to respect that, while at the same time we are trying to tell our own story at Compulsion, so paying those respects and those homages, but also very much like checking in on what we were doing. And I think we did that really well.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think from everybody who I've talked to who have played the game and who are from the South, I'm in Tennessee, and a lot of my family is from the South on my dad's side. It felt like a love letter. It felt like something, I don't know how to explain this, but like you can tell when people put their heart into something and their passion into something, because it comes across when you see it, and you're like, they really cared about how they wanted to portray these characters and their story. And all of the characters are so layered, which is really nice because they felt real. Like you felt like that person used to live down the street from me, like honestly. And I was saying, like with the Rue reminds me of this other character from another show that like I connected with. So I think you guys did an incredible job. And I think what I can appreciate about Compulsion Games is that they did hire people of color, Black people, to help tell that story. And that is so important, because you get some of these rooms that are not filled with any of us trying to tell our stories, and they're just missing the mark. So I think you guys did an incredible job. One of the questions I wanted to ask you as a writer is this something you always wanted to do? Did you always see yourself writing for games, or is this kind of like something that you kind of fell into and you were like, damn, I'm really good at this? Like, how did that come about?
No, I went to school and I wanted to be a doctor. I did most of a biology degree, and then I just like kind of bounced around really aimless for a while. And I got a PlayStation from some guy on Craigslist that was like definitely stolen in a parking lot at like 11 o'clock at night. And I got The Last of Us, the Telltale Walking Dead games, and Dragon Age Origins, and those were my, like, I would say my first big like narrative games. That's not true, actually. My grandmother got an old school Xbox, the original Xbox when it first came out, and I had Knights of the Old Republic. I played that when I was like 12, and I was like flabbergasted. I was floored. I remember running my grandma and being like, "Oh my god, the big twist!" And she didn't know what was going on. She's like, "Oh, that's great! Oh, I'm so glad you had fun." And I was like, "Yeah," but I hadn't really gamed in between, the original Xbox and getting a PS3. But I played those games, and I was like, "Oh well, someone has to write these," and I had never thought of that, because when you think about English degree, you're like, oh, or a writer, you can write books, you could be a teacher, and that's all I could really think of. So then I just hopped on Twitter and I followed a writer who worked on the Walking Dead series, the Telltale series. And I went through everyone she followed, and if it said game writer or narrative designer, I followed them, and I just started being like borderline annoying. I was just like, how do you get the games? Like, what was your path? What do I do? And I started doing game jams.
That's called research.
Yep.
It's true. That's true.
That's called research. That's good.
And then I did game jams, and then I got a scholarship to go to GDC, but then 2020 hit, and so that was devastating. And then I did a Kickstarter that kind of took off, and that's what got me noticed in games. And I got my first job on Subnautica Below Zero, working on as like a junior writer on that. And that was my first foray into games.
Is that the first one or the second one?
Into it. It's the second one.
Okay, because I remember distinctly that the second one, the main character was a Black woman, and I was like, oh, okay. Okay, that's really incredible, and I love that you touched on that. And I'm going to throw it back to you, Derek. I just wanted to like tell the people who are watching who want to get into games, there are so many different ways to get into games. There's not just one way. So I know like you can have I believe in education, okay? And you can have these people saying like, you need to come to school to do that. You absolutely don't. School is really good for networking, but if like you're a storyteller, you're a storyteller. Right.
Yes. 10 different writers, how they got into game writing. You'll get 10
all different,
incredibly different stories. You'll have scientists, and then you'll have, someone who went to school for writing. It just runs the gamut. It's which I think is actually really cool.
I do too. A lot of different perspectives coming in to create something. So just keep trying, because I know right now times are hard out there, but keep trying, please. We need more of us in the industry. So like, don't give up. And that's all. I'm done. I'm off my soapbox.
No, it's all good. This is my segue. Speaking of stories, I got to witness like moments before our call, a post that you made online about the support that you received getting into games, and I thought that was really impactful. When it comes to looking at the stories that maybe like really imparted themselves upon you. You talked about these Telltale games. You talked about Knights of the Old Republic. Were there any how do I say this? Are there any memories that you have about the impact of narrative upon you that you really made an effort to kind of apply to a title like this, whether that dealt with maybe Hazel or some aspect that happened in the overall arc of the story?
Yeah. So 2 stories that I re-experienced for South of Midnight. I reread Their Eyes Were Watching God. Because it is such the language in it is just really good, really poignant, and the emotions in it are it's just so well done. I love Zora Neale Hurston. I think she's a treasure. And then I also rewatched Crooklyn, which I think is one of Spike Lee's, like, I don't want to say it's underrated, but I don't hear people talk about it often enough.
I love that movie.
Same. It's one of my favorites. And the relationship between Troy, who's the main character, and her mother, and this growing pain space that they're in because the mother is sick, and Troy doesn't really know how to handle that. The mom's not perfect by any means. Troy's a kid, so she also has her own really big emotions. And the movie also has these like slightly magical moments in them that like don't quite make sense. And you're like, I don't understand what's happening. But that's something that I rewatched a couple times because I was like, I really want to nail this feeling, especially as you get to the end of the movie with the acceptance of everything that's happening. So I think for me, those were probably the 2 biggest ones. And then also Eve's Bayou was one as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wonderful.
I love Crooklyn. That's all I wanted to say. It's such a good movie. It's so underrated. And now that you've brought it up, I can see kind of like not the comparison, but the things that you could take away from that to tell a coming of age story about a girl who's dealing with like a traumatic situation with their mother, with a parental figure.
Yeah.
Another
Zaire,
question.
Real quick, I think you need to come up with no, you're good. I'm the one interrupting, so I apologize. No, I just real quick with all the references, I think we need like a South of Midnight watch read list. That people can leap into after having their experience with the game.
I think that's a really good idea.
I'll ask someone about that for sure.
Oh my God. I think the question I had just kind of flew. Oh, okay. So this is a weird question, but one of the things that I thought was really interesting, and this is just like visually, is before I started playing the game, I didn't realize that our main character was of mixed race, right? And I know that that's really important. I think it's something that like we don't touch on a lot because it's like I don't know, like if people are just afraid to talk about it, but how that experience is different, especially in the South. Like it's a huge thing. How did you feel about that as you were writing the characters and kind of like exploring the story? Because it's a different dynamic. It really is. I come from a family that like both of my parents are just like they're blackity black all day long. But when you have a mixed race family, the dynamic's different. You're still seen as black, but then there are these other aspects to just going through life as a mixed biracial person.
Yeah, I think for Hazel, the way she grows up and the way her mother raises her, we don't get to see it a super ton, but Hazel, I think, is raised. I mean, if Hazel was walking down the street, if Hazel got, I don't know, pulled over by the police, God forbid.
I knew you were gonna say that.
But like Hazel is a black woman. I think she would see herself as a black woman. We don't overtly address Hazel's like mixed race heritage. I mean, and that's another huge. We could talk about that for a really long time. But it's kind of hinted at in how Bunny doesn't necessarily have the greatest relationship with her.
Yes.
And the way Hazel and Lacey kind of have each other in the community. They have like Mrs. Pearl, Bo, and Jolene. So it's not something that I think overtly wanted to address, because the thing of narrative is all narrative requires space. And we have to take space from one thing, you take it from something else. And so sometimes in a story you have these ideas that you put out there, but you can't necessarily address them as much as you want to, or you just kind of have to like put a gloss over it. And I think that's something that happens. So it kind of leaves it open for discussion and open for interpretation. But I personally, I think Hazel would consider herself just a black woman. It rains and her hair gets frizzy type thing. Like she gets, I really I really think
what type hair does she have?
I just think it's really important for Hazel to look like a type of black girl we don't necessarily see in media very often. And I say that as someone who I know I have light skin privilege, but like my mom, my sister, my brother, my dad, they're all darker than me. I just, the way things happen with our genes. But I thought that was very important. I want people to identify with that and have that person to look up to.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you for saying that. I think that's really important. I know like we're wrapping up and I'm going to throw it back to Derek, but knowing when you have that space to really like dedicate to something so that you're not doing it an injustice. And I really appreciate that like you guys took that into consideration, because a lot of times people try to squeeze things in and you're like, well, that didn't really fit. That didn't really make a lot of sense. So love that.
In your explanation, you addressed my next question, which I think is really embedded in there, which was what you hope fans can walk away with. And so this conversation about Hazel really identifies that. Instead, I'm going to wrap up with a much easier question and ask, well, hopefully easier. Who's your favorite character in South of Midnight?
I mean, I wanted to say Hazel. I think Hazel's really cool, but I feel like that's cheating. I think I won't do a character necessary. Go ahead.
Who are you most excited for fans to meet?
I think the story in the swamp later in the game with Honey, Altamahaha, Mahalia, the way all these kind of mythical strands, no pun intended, kind of like all meet, and kind of the passing of the torch that happens there, and like the finishing of a job that was left unfinished, I think is really heartfelt. And I also think the music in that level is just, I've never heard anything like it in a game. It felt very, very personal. I think a lot of people can identify with it. It's music they might have grown up with, even if they didn't go to church. It's like it's just a part of Black American culture in a lot of ways, and I feel very proud to have contributed to that in any kind of way. I think it's very, very cool to showcase our culture in that way.
Hell yeah.
Hey there, I'm Day to Dave, a Twitch ambassador and voice actor in the gaming industry. Now I just want to say that was an amazing interview from one of the developers of South of Midnight. Now it's a great game, so definitely check it out. I played it. Next up, are you excited to see a collection of game trailers we're spotlighting? Check this out.
Yo, I'm CryoGX, solo dev here to tell you the wait for Advent Neon is almost over. If you haven't kept up for the past, goodness, 6 years? Advent Neon's been a solo passion project of mine ever since I graduated college. I'm going to showcase a new level today, right after I turn Neon even more green than they already are. Hope you enjoy unlocking everything. But yeah, back to the solo thing. The programming, art, music, sound, and things that you normally see other devs outsource to different artists, nah, that stuff's all me. From here, we can warp to other districts in the game. We're just going to go to Hexane District for today, but as you probably figured, you can go to whichever one you want in any order you want. So yeah, here's the Hexane District hub, and the first level, we're just going to go straight in. And beat my last score while I'm at it. So yeah, if you're playing these levels in order, this stage will formally introduce you to grind rails, as every platform is cooler with them. Hey, I don't make the rules, I just pretend to know what they are. This game's got some depth too. While these rails let you go fast on them, the momentum from them will carry over into a high-speed run once you get off of them, which you can use to instantly wipe out enemies if you can maintain that speed. Observe. Yup. But yeah, that's one of those high skill ceiling expression things. Wait a second. Since I ignored that hive earlier, a wasp enemy followed me, tried to hit me, but I dashed right as I was about to get hit to freeze time and counter. No, get me out of here. Mastering the entirety of Neon's moveset, as well as the level layouts, will make you look absolutely godlike to other players. But that level of mastery is not required by any means to enjoy the game. It's always funny to watch that one's parts bounce through that little tunnel there. And now we've got penguins outside of their natural habitat. This one in particular dies. And I guess this one here wants revenge, but no. You know, I initially came up with the idea of this game when playing Mega Man ZXA as a kid, and I was like, I'm tired of shooting, I only want to melee, and I want to dash in all 8 directions. Fast forward to games like Celeste and Spark the Electric Jester coming out, and I learned those ideas were really fun on principle. Almost at 100%. Ooh, finally max power! And I lost it, just like that. To explain, that percent counter at the top left of the screen, that is Neon's resonance. It acts as critical hit rate if you're familiar with that general mechanic. It goes up as you fight and collect the green triangular nodes across the stage, and at 100%, Neon transforms and becomes even stronger. But if you get hit without any shields or upgrades, you go all the way back down to 0. So maintaining it will make you really powerful, fast, and cool. Oh yeah, here comes the tricky part of the level. I guess it wouldn't be a railway if there wasn't a train, you know? But yeah, this segment's side-scrolling, so those missiles won't be a threat unless you try to hold forward and speed up. Meantime though, you can tear through all these enemies flying on terrain. And if you're trying to get an S rank for enemies killed, then that becomes a requirement. I meant to say KO, but same difference, right? Oh good, another penguin to kill. I mean KO. Alright, finally got the mini-boss fight here. This design was actually suggested by one of my Kickstarter backers. I think it came out really cool. I do hope they agree. Ah, I should have tried to parry her again. Actually, wait, hold up, we're getting pretty close here. Ah, come on, give me a couple more hits. We are back. Don't know how much sense it makes for our big train to be piloted by a smaller train that just flew off into the distance, but hey, it's neat. Also, God, it's sending shadow clones after me, okay. Nah, buddy, I'm keeping this 100% to the end of the level, you ain't stopping me. Nice, there it is. Okay, what was that? A rank? No, that's probably an S rank. Ooh, okay. Spoiler alert, that's not the highest rank in the game. See that 98% down there? There's more to be done. But not today, though. Just gonna go back to the tunnels area and chill for a bit. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed what you saw. That'll be it for my little showcase. I want to thank Justin, Derek, Sean, and everyone at Black Voices in Gaming, as well as my followers, Kickstarter backers, all the gaming outlets, as well as you, the viewer, for making all this possible and giving me support through the years. Game's been a long time coming, and I can't wait to finally get it out to you all. And if you can't wait and need to try it now, there's a free demo on Steam at this very moment. Try it out, leave a review, wishlist the main game, and be sure to send me a clean, crisp $20 US, the price of 3 eggs in this economy, for it if you're enjoying yourself. Take care.
Hi, I'm Tade Ajiboye, a solo game developer from Lagos, Nigeria, and I'm working on a game called Go North. I like to describe Go North as the first immersive maze adventure ever. It's a narrative-driven game where you explore beautiful environments, discover useful items, and solve various puzzles, all while trying to find your way through a variety of unique mazes. I've been developing games for over a decade. This has been mostly freelance work where I build games and VR experiences for companies across the globe. But now I'm finally building something of my own. One of my goals is to contribute meaningfully to the Nigerian game development scene. It's a growing industry, but we're still finding our voice and footing on a global scale. And I think one of the core reasons for this is that we lack proper success stories. I'm hoping Go North can be one of these. I wanted to create a game that blends adventure with a sense of calm. A relaxing, cozy game, wide-ranging enough to be challenging, but not one expressed through technical difficulty. I wanted to build something that evoked the same emotions as games like Journey, Grease, and The Short Hike. That's why Go North focuses on exploration over combat, on atmosphere over pressure, and on the immense power of cuteness and beauty. It's a game you can take at your own pace. In Go North, you explore a variety of maze types, ranging from forest mazes to mazes in the sky to endless corridors to garden mazes. Each maze is visually distinct, and each one presents a different navigational challenge. To help players through them, I've designed a wide array of unique items. These range from items I call the Waybloom, which is a plant-like beacon you can place anywhere that shoots a beam into the sky, and you can track it from any location and you can easily find your way back to it. To other items like the Lunar Boards, which are a hoverboard type item that helps you traverse around the maze. These items allow players to engage with the maze at their own pace and style, whether they're methodical explorers or curious wanderers. At the heart of Go North is a story. You play as Dara, a young girl on a journey towards the northernmost part of the world. Legend has it that the maze god resides there and that he grants one wish to any adventurer brave and cunning enough to track him. But to truly go north, Dara must navigate countless difficult mazes purposefully crafted by the maze makers to get her lost. Along the way, she will meet other maze explorers, make friends, and help others as she navigates her way forward. I have been developing Go North solo, but I have also contracted out specific tasks to local talent here in Nigeria. It's very important to me that the game showcases what Nigerian talents can accomplish, and by investing in local artists, I want to be able to prove that we can build globally competitive games right here in Nigeria, and hopefully inspire more creatives to do the same. Thank you so much for checking out Go North. If you're interested in a relaxing, beautiful maze adventure, or you just want to support a growing indie scene, I'd love for you to follow the game, wishlist it, and share it with others. Let's go North together.
Hi, I'm Nerys, game director of Ascend, developed by Miami Avalon. We're an indie studio based in Warwick in the UK. Ascend is a meditative puzzle adventure game about climbing a sacred mountain, solving zodiac trials, and restoring your inner world in a more harmonious state. At its core, Ascend is about transformation, emotional, spiritual, and elemental. You play as Aurora, a pilgrim searching for meaning across the mountain's ancient pathways. Each level explores a different zodiac sign, an emotional truth tied to it, grief, resilience, self-doubt, and growth. The puzzles themselves are around each spirit of each sign. So Sagittarius challenges your pursuit of knowledge and perspective. Gemini plays with mirrors and duality. Taurus tests your ability to give and find balance. The blend of emotion comes from our love of old PS2 era titles, so like Jack and Dexter, Primal, Final Fantasy X, Dark Cloud, Kingdom Hearts. Games where exploration, mystery, and all the heart is lived in the same space as well. Ascend features intricate constellation-themed puzzles and a unique time-turning mechanic where you can shift between day, twilight, and dusk. Each time of day reveals a different layer within the world. Some puzzles only come alive at certain times of the day, so twilight reveals secrets by the moonlight. Your light altars, reroute waterfalls, reflect beams, twist ancient machinery, and reshape the landscape to move forward. Aurora, our main character, her journey is steeped in anxiety, so in moments where she feels small, overwhelmed, or even unsure whether she's even meant to be here. This isn't just a character trait, it came from us, it came from myself. A lot of her inner voice, her hesitations, her dry humour are pulled from real thoughts where I've had to try to keep going. Ascend became a way to explore how anxiety doesn't always look loud. It's about how we can live in silence, in second guesses, in the pressure to keep climbing even when we're not even sure why. The mountain reflects the emotional weight and the puzzles ask you to move through it, not fix it. Ascend is about the climb that we all make, the one that nobody sees, the one inside. Through light, myth, and puzzle solving, we're not just uncovering the secrets of the mountain, you're uncovering parts of yourself. It's coming 28th of August. You can play the demo for free now on Steam and wish us the full release coming 28th of August. Please take a look at our trailer.
I didn't come here to be a hero. I came because no one else could, and well, someone had to. They say the mountain keeps the ones who didn't make it. Pilgrims frozen mid-thought, like ghosts who forgot what they were searching for. Each trial's tied to a zodiac sign. Leo burned. Sagittarius? That one gave me answers I wasn't ready for. They all say the mountain changes you, but maybe it's just trying to show you what you already are. 12 zodiac signs, 12 riddles, and I'm somehow supposed to solve them without losing my mind? Easy. Even if the mountain sees more of me than I want it to, there's no going back now. I don't know what lies ahead, but I know I have to keep climbing. To ascend.
Everything just looks so fun. I cannot wait to play the final build of Advent Neon. I've been following that one for a minute. It just gives me Sega flashbacks. Our next guest is a talented musician who has influenced hip hop and the gaming culture through clever wordplay, production, and live with his freestyle skills, which he is a master at. Ladies and gentlemen, gamers, hip hop heads, and everything in between, we bring you Mega Ran.
You are now in the place with Mega Ran. That's right. Shout out to Black Voices in Gaming, everybody, for having us out. My name is Mega Ran. I love video games. I love hip hop. I love culture. I love people. And I love bringing it all together in this little thing they call nerd rap. So let's get it started a little something like this, shall we? Okay, if you with me now, go, 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 go. That's old school rap. Go, 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 go. Make some noise now. Go, 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 go. Let me hear ya. Go, 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 go. Hey. Yeah, Dark Side, Strider, and Mock Rider, Tomb Raider, Tomb Slayer, and Soul Survivor. I wear a halo, but more like a dark angel. King of the fighters, and my fury is fatal. The god of war, like the mighty Thor. You're a dinosaur, still trying to find a link to the past. Crack down on whack clowns and make them back down. No more heroes, cause they don't want to rap now. Keep my Metal Gear Solid. Modern Warfare, cast dark clouds every several years. You can never question the dedication the beats be resonating while I'm awaiting your resignation. Since I was a cadet, every last cassette I record had to hit them with a mass effect. From the east to the west, they know I've been the best, so we live at Summer Game Fest. Oh yes! Go, 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 go! The Black Voices in Gaming. Go, 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 go! Gaming and entertaining. Go, 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 go! Any questions? Yeah! Cause this is the beginning of the Mega Ran legend. All right, let's set it off. Here we go. We are at the beginning, and it's just getting started. Summer Game Fest is underway. Hope you've been playing some great games and hearing some great stuff. My name is Mega Ran, and I'm here to give you a little bit of halftime entertainment. So, yeah, let's keep it moving with one of my favorite jams from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video game, Shredder's Revenge. Let's go.
Go ninja, go ninja, go. Go ninja, go ninja, go. Go ninja, go ninja, go.
A little
go,
Vanilla Ice,
go,
of course.
Go, go.
All right. Yeah, all right, y'all. Wherever you are, you can hear me. You got to take it back to the 90s for this one. Okay, now, say go ninja, go ninja, go. Go ninja, go ninja, go. Go ninja, go ninja, go. Go, go, yeah. Okay. Hey, heroes in a hash down. Hey, yeah. So this track is called It's a Pizza Party. Cause it's time, heroes in a hash down. Yo, and it goes like this. Hey, extra, read all about how Shredder and Krang rap things without a doubt. Now here's a little story I like to tell about 4 youngsters come out of their shell. You might be wondering what this world comes to. Talking turtles all versed in kung fu. Straight from the sewer, making maneuvers in New York City, bringing it to wrongdoers. Donatello and veteran thinker. Trained under the watchful eye of Splinter. Raphael is strong, but he's reckless. Next, Michelangelo, he ain't stressing. Leonardo, your fearless leader. After a long fight, we'll need some pizza. That's how we quell this hunger. So if you with me, say cowabunga! Ha! That's turtle power. So that is on Shredder's Revenge, which is out right now. That's the ending theme, so you got to beat the game to get the rest of it. But yo, let's get into some Final Fantasy VII, because that's my true love. Honestly, role-playing games, especially from the 90s, from a company called Square Soft, not necessarily Square Enix. All right, y'all. So this one here is how I'm gonna show you how to start a revolution. Take your hand, this hand here, you ball it up, you turn it around, and you raise it towards the sky, and you say, hey, 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 we beat them. Insurgents, not a bit nervous. Encouraged, got a bit further to go by any means. Getting rid of our enemies. AVALANCHE, yeah, that's who we be. Insurgents, not a bit nervous. No lip service, got a bit further to go. Do what we gotta get. Who want that problem? AVALANCHE, yeah, that's who we. There's a massive company called Shinra. I don't know exactly what they're into, but they want to get control of my live stream, and I just can't let that continue. They don't care who they hurt, who they injure. Want to turn my whole planet against us. It's simple, you join the resistance, or you wind up going against us. And the name Barrett Wallace, and I'm known for paralyzing, pulverizing punks into submission. Not fantasizing, wish this world wasn't mine. Get worse if we allow it. I head with a cannon for an arm and a mind with none but revenge inside it. And I represent Avalanche. Man, them chumps don't have a chance. Watch them scatter, man, whenever Barrett's land those battle plans. My people beside me, team provide me with a bit of voice of reason. It's Biggs and Wedge and Jesse. Anybody in my way, we squeezing. You're behind me, I'm leading, but bombing the region. It's gotta be the highest treason. We can't do farther back now, then I'm not leaving till we even. Bring it to whoever wants, you can get equipped. The president of Shinra's throwing fits. So yo, let me see your fists like this. Hey, hey, not a bit nervous. Encouraged, got a bit further to go. Any means, getting rid of my enemies. AVALANCHE, that's who we be. Insurgents, not a bit nervous. No lip service, got a bit further to go. Do what I gotta get. Who want that problem? AVALANCHE, yeah, that's who we be. ARRE1T, they gon' have to come get me if they want me. I don't bend, I don't break, don't care about much. This is my daughter Marlene, my people's being free. You gotta understand, son, I don't have the answer. I just keep the faith, and I always keep a handgun. Nope, I mean that literally, cause I got a handgun. I call this a gun arm, so I'm never unarmed. Get it? It's a little Final Fantasy humor for you gamers out there. Hope you're having a good time. Yeah, my name's Mega Ran. It's been so awesome to be here, even though I couldn't physically be there with you at Summer Game Fest. This is about the next best thing, I gotta say. So, Oh yeah, I used to be a teacher, so I want to shout out all the teachers and educators and people who keep creating out there. Just keep on working and making amazing things happen, because you are the future of the entertainment industry. So keep gaming, keep playing, keep creating, keep building new worlds so we can keep on enjoying them. All right, y'all. Well, I'm Mega Ran, and I'm out. Peace.
For centuries, monks and guardians have protected these lands together.
The forest is unquiet.
This was my home.
Sorry,
Those eyes, I have seen that fire before.
You're just a coward.
I didn't ask for this! We're not backing down!
Come, let us finish this.
My turn!
No!
Run!
He's gonna regret getting in our way!
You do not understand! I only wanted to see her again.
fun about an abandoned warehouse, Trev.
That's right, you got nothing to prove, sis. No matter what they say.
Okay. What's this all about?
Treaties were signed, promises made and broken. Is it stealing to take back what was stolen?
Stolen? Who's stealing them?
Us.
It's time to get out of there.
Let me introduce a friend of mine. Smart, agile, and will let you look into places with the tightest security.
I could probably bench press every one of you.
The locksmith strikes again. Hold on.
Listen, are you having second thoughts?
Nope. Just hoping you won't get me killed.
Yeah.
I know what you and your little crew are doing.
Nobody threatens my family or my friends and gets away with it. So we are going to do whatever it takes to take back Africa's belongings, and we're going to do it together.
Wow, that performance from Mega Ran was great. Now, he's a phenomenal performer as always, so definitely check out his music if you haven't. And also, it was great seeing another selection of games to look forward to. But with that said, we've got just enough time left to show you a jam-packed selection of titles, so definitely stick around and check out what's next. Here it is.
Spent a lot and you're way over your budget. I'm sick, so sick. Well, you would not believe your eyes if you saw you only made $10 and you got fans across the globe. I swear $10 ain't enough. And I'll say I've been working hard as hell, and all those streaming numbers count, but don't translate to record sales. I swear this isn't making sense. Well, let's hope they make this right. Let's hope they make this right, because they don't pay us right. They don't pay us right. They don't pay us right. Well, let's hope they make this right.
Wow, what a show. Can you believe everything that has happened? Des, how are you feeling about the content that we just had a pleasure of viewing today?
Listen, I'm loving the content and I'm loving your commentary. Like, it is keeping me going. I don't drink coffee, but you've got me hyped. And honestly, I am super excited that we were able to like pull this off. It's always a big like production when we're like talking to developers, getting everything in, but everybody like did an incredible job. We had a very dope interview at Zaire. I mean, Compulsion Games coming through with focusing on Black culture and Black stories. Like, what more can you ask for? Obviously, we want more of that, but you know what I mean? Like, that's incredible. But what else do you think? I mean, we had developers, we had a musical guest.
Oh, right. Like we got a musical guest. Not only that, but Megaran, you know, getting to be a part of the show was really incredible. So there's so much to be hyped about. It's always a privilege to be able to celebrate the achievements of Black developers and see what it is that they're cooking up on the showcase. And again, for Summer Games Fest. And so, you know, getting to put that out there into the world is really exciting. And I get to do it with cool people.
I mean, like, the coolest. I'm not just dusting my shoulders off, but listen, before we close out, let's just take a second to recognize why this all matters, right? Representation in gaming isn't just important, it's powerful. Every time we spotlight the success of a Black creative, no matter the scale, we're pushing the industry forward. These moments of recognition do more than just celebrate wins. They open doors. They remind people that there's room for them here, that they belong. I don't know. I was about to get emotional because I think for me, I'm always screaming and shouting about like, just keep trying because you belong here. And we have these amazing stories that we continue to tell and that are so beautiful. And I'm just glad that, hey, this is our first time at Summer Games Fest in this capacity, and they're recognizing the beautiful and amazing work we do. And so like, let's just keep up the good work, everybody. Let's just keep playing the game, and not only playing it, changing it.
Said excellently. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you for being here. We appreciate all of you. That's it for another Black Voices in Gaming Showcase. We hope to see you again.
See ya!
And that is our show, baby. Thanks, Derek and Destiny. You guys are amazing. Check out Dames for Games, which has a showcase popping off real soon. Make sure to check out Experience Studios in order to help developers get their games funded and support underrepresented game development. Follow all the shenanigans of Black Voice in Gaming on Blue Sky and across all of our social media platforms that pop up right here. Shout out to all the developers who jumped in to share their games and their babies. Huge thanks and a big dap to our sponsors, PlayStation, Humble Bundle, and Raw Fury, who've all given their support from the very start. Also The Mix, Razer, and Summer Game Fest. Thanks to our broadcast partners for this showcase, Summer Game Fest, Twitch, IGN, GameSpot, and Steam. Extending the reach is definitely helpful. We owe them a debt of gratitude as well. Thanks to all you guys for showing up and showing out, and for all the love. We will talk to you soon. I'm Justin Woodward, co-founder of BVIG. Peace.